Why are you not selling on Etsy? I've got 6 tips to hopefully help you figure out why. Hey, I'm Duthie, and it's a Monday, so it's another Etsy tips videos. Tips and tricks to help you market your small business in crafting or art. If this is something you're interested in, don't forget, come back every Monday. So how are your sales going for the year? Leave a comment below, let me know. Has this been your best year, your worst year, or even your first year? And let's figure out why maybe you're not getting as many sales as you'd like to. Reason 1. Your products suck. Thankfully, this is actually the least likely reason as to why you're not selling. But you've got to be honest with yourself. If you're making something that nobody wants, then it's not going to sell. So yes, your mum, your best friend might take some of your items, but if friends and family haven't been asking for your items to give as gifts to other people, haven't been excited about your items, then perhaps they're just being nice because you're family. Not everything everybody makes is going to sell, and you have to really believe in your product. If you're just throwing things together in the hope of making money, then perhaps this isn't for you. Many years ago, there used to be a website with the worst items found on Etsy. I can't even remember what that was called. If you can remember it, or if it still exists, can you let me know down below? I'd love to check it out again. But I remember one of the items has just stuck in my brain forever, and it was a cat toy. And this cat toy was a twig out of someone's garden with a bit of string tied to a feather that someone had found lying on the floor in their garden. Now, I'm not saying that could never have sold. If someone had a great story about that, if that was their child that was out gathering these things to sell money for a great cause, that might have sold. But if that's an adult trying to make a business out of this and thinking they've done something great, you're in the wrong place. That's a feather tied to a stick, be real. But the good news is that most of us really do have good products. We might not be the best artists in the world, but there's still a place for us and our products. If you love making what you make and other people love it, then your items being rubbish is not the reason you're not selling. Reason 2, your prices. Now, most people, if they aren't selling, immediately want to drop their prices, slash prices, cut price sales. They think their prices are too high. Sometimes this might be the case, but it's very rarely. What I would do is look at your items compared to other items in your niche and honestly see how they compare. If you're making things that are very similar to somebody else, you turn up in the search in the same place, but your item's 3 times the price, then yes, it's likely the other person will get the sale. But if your item is unique and people are loving it, then you just maybe haven't been seen by the right people yet. And people who want to value your work are happy to pay the price to give you a living wage. Because at the end of the day, if you price yourself too low, then you're going to start hating making what you make. If someone came and ordered 30 of your items and you've priced yourself so low and suddenly you're working full time trying to create your items for a pittance, then you're going to hate it and you're not going to make the best item that you can make. Added to that, when people see something handmade and it's cheap, they assume it's cheap. If someone sees something that's handmade and a bit more expensive, just as long as it's not crazy expensive, but they can put value on that item. We've all seen paintings that literally a monkey painted and people pay thousands of pounds for them, because sometimes people like the prestige. If there's a big price point attached to it, they assume it's of value. I'm not saying we should be ripping off people, we should be charging a sensible price, but don't assume that your price is too high and it's putting people off. If it compares well to other people, then it's likely that the price is not the issue. Reason 3, your shop policies. Now, this might not be something that you've really thought about, but quite often buyers on Etsy like to have a look around the whole of your shop. They like to read your policies, they like to read about you. And I'm afraid to say, sometimes people are really negative in their policies. If you've been hanging around on the forums and you're hearing only the bad things from people, you might fill in your policies lots of negative things about how you're not going to do this, you're not going to do that, to get ripped off by people. I've seen a growing trend in quite a number of shops that their shipping policies state that if they post the item, it's no longer their responsibility. If the item is not received by the buyer, that's not the fault of the seller. Now, this is a policy that personally would completely put me off, because basically how it reads to me is, you buy this, You might receive it, you might not, and if you don't receive it, tough. Now if you think about big companies like Amazon, they bend over backwards to make sure you get the item, so you know you're safe. If you buy something, you are going to have that item in your hand. And the thing is, most customers aren't here to rip you off. And the few that are, you can catch them out fairly easily. But don't have in your shop policies something so negative that's going to make the shopping experience really bad. And equally, in the rest of your shop, look at filling it out with you as a person. Take all the space that there is in there to show how you hand make things, let them know about you, and that can actually make people want to buy from you more. Reason 4, you're too small. This one sucks, but it does happen. Unfortunately, if you're a brand new shop and you've had no sales, you also have no reviews, so that will put some people off. I'm sorry, that's just a fact. That's just a fact with buyers. When you have absolutely no reviews, people don't know whether to trust you or not. But the good thing is, there are people out there who like to support a small shop, who like to buy, who like to be people's first ka-ching. So hold in there. It might be holding you back slightly just now, but it's something that'll be sorted really soon. Reason 5, your photographs. If your photographs are rubbish, then not only does it not give people a good idea of what they're going to get, it makes it look cheap and tatty, and also you're losing out on quite a bit of marketing here as well, because if you have beautiful aspirational pictures, even if someone can't afford the item or it isn't for them, they still might share it on places like Pinterest or Instagram or anything, so that gets you more exposure. So really your photographs very much could be holding you back. I have videos about photographs I'll link to in the cards. Reason 6, This is the most important reason. This is probably why the majority of people are not getting sales. And it's simply they're not getting seen. You can have the best item in the world at the perfect price with wonderful pictures with the best policies, but if people can't find you, they can't buy from you. So this is where search engine optimization, SEO, is the very most important thing. You need to learn how to write your titles, your tags and your descriptions so that you show up on search. You need to figure out how to get seen on social media, have nice followings of people elsewhere, how to perhaps create a mailing list. You need to find and engage your fans so you have a community of people who know you, trust you and love your work. And then you really will start making sales. Okay, I hope this helped you, gave some ideas or perhaps some inspirations. If this has been useful, don't forget, click on my wee face to subscribe and come back every Monday. Thank you.